This tree here, this bare rootstock, can grow 4 different fruits. That's right, 4 different fruits. How is that possible? Has the world gone mad? Welcome back to Whistle Thicket. So, we are talking about fruit cocktail trees today. I said there were 4 different fruits on this tree. This is a fruit cocktail tree. It actually has 6 varieties, so 4 fruits, but I think it has 2 types of peaches, 2 types of plums. It also has apricots grafted, and it has nectarines grafted. So this one tree has 6 varieties and 4 different fruits on it. So that's pretty amazing. A fruit cocktail tree is great for the backyard homesteader. I had one of these for years at a place I used to live, and it gave me fruit for several years before I moved. These things work. A lot of people think they're a gimmick, but I've had experience with them, and they are a great addition to your homestead, especially if you don't have a lot of room, or even if you do have a lot of room. For me, I'm just growing for my family. I don't need 100 fruit trees. But if I can have one tree that has 4 different fruits on it, that's pretty awesome. So to understand how a fruit cocktail tree works, first we need to learn about why trees are grafted in the first place. So this is actually an apple tree that I grafted last year. This is the rootstock. I know it's tilted a little bit. I need to add some more soil. But this is the rootstock, and this is the grafted stock, or the scion, or the bud chip. Sometimes if it's a little bud on the edge, that's the bud chip. So this is a grafted fruit tree. Most of your fruit trees you get are going to be grafted. Can you grow an apple tree from an apple seed that you get at the store? The answer is yes. It's a seed. You can grow it. It will give you apples probably. But the reason why we have to graft is pretty simple. So apples are not self-pollinating. They're not self-fertile. They need another apple tree to pollinate them, most of the time a different variety. So this is important. They're just like humans, right? It takes a male and a female to have a baby. It's the same thing with apple trees and most fruit trees. You need a male and female flower in order to produce seeds. So just like humans, we have a lot of genetic variability with fruit trees. So right, you could have a male apple tree and a female apple tree, and you could produce seeds. But from those seeds, you have no idea exactly what the offspring is going to be like. So right, if you look at your family, you may have sisters or brothers, siblings. None of you look exactly alike unless you're an identical twin, right? That's because you don't know what DNA you're going to get from each parent, right? You have a 50% chance for every gene. You just don't know how it's going to turn out. So because of that, if you want to grow a certain type of apple, you can't just take a Golden Delicious from the store, plant it, and get a Golden Delicious tree. That's not going to work. You have to graft. The reason you have to graft, if you graft it, then you are guaranteed to get the fruit you want because you know where that branch came from. This is important too. The fruit is going to be the same even though it's pollinated by another tree. Why? Because the fruit is not where the DNA is stored, right? The fruit is a means to an end. The fruit is there to help the seed grow, and we've just taken advantage of apple trees and other trees and grown them so that we can enjoy the fruit, right? So the fruit is going to stay the same because that fruit was determined from the previous generation of fruit trees. So your fruit is always going to be the same if you graft the tree. The thing with a fruit cocktail tree is people think it's a crazy thing, But that's what we're doing with apple trees, with most trees that you buy. Peach trees, most trees are grafted. The only difference is with the fruit cocktail, they've grafted lots of different types of trees. Now, you can't do this with any type of tree. You can't graft, you know, an apple to a peach tree, say, or something like that, or an orange tree to an apple tree. You have to pick species that are closely related. So, for example, on this fruit cocktail tree, all of the fruits that are grafted are stone fruits. They are closely related. So that's how this tree is able to work. It's kind of almost like a parasite if you think about it. You take a graft from another tree, it's going to heal over from the scion, is going to be healed over from the mother tree, and then it's going to basically steal the water and the nutrients. It's going to become part of the tree that you grafted it to. So this is actually another type of fruit cocktail. This is actually a pear tree. There are 5 different pears that have been grafted to this tree. It's hard to see the grafts because these were done with bud chipping, it looks like. So this is actually a graft. That's a graft. Here's another graft. It is hard to see on this tree. It just looks like a single stalk. So right, the root stock has been chosen for its root, and the scions have been chosen for their fruit. So a fruit cocktail is an awesome addition to your garden. I highly recommend them. They are just cool. So, right, you will get fruit at different times. They're not all going to fruit at the same time. You'll get different flowers. It's a cool addition to your garden. I'm going to be planting mine. I'm excited. It's fun to see the different fruits growing on the tree. So, check out fruit cocktail trees if you haven't heard about them. You can also get 5-in-1 pear trees. You can get 5-in-1 apple trees. There's lots of places online you can order these. Sometimes you can find these at your local stores, like a high-end, I guess, garden store, but I don't really see them that often. So have a great day, and we'll see you next time.